Welcome back, welcome back. Ooh, yeah. I love being with y'all so much. This is my favorite time of my day. All right, so let's get back in here. We were working on some stuff. I'm gonna oh, not that share. Let me switch this over. Let me do a little switcheroo. Not that. We are going back to our headline, hot dog. Okay, so this mysterious headline. I know that for many of you, probably most of you, you're not using headlines. I see this, and yet I've told you about the incredible impact that a headline can have, right? It immediately draws in that demographic for your buyer. So where do I use the headline? I'm either in my MLS description, it often drops down to right before my opening statement. And I'm going to give you guys several examples of headlines. And some of them you'll notice, especially the ones that are like a question. A great headline sometimes is a question like, love the beach? Question mark. Now, everyone who does resonate, who does love the beach, answers that question and says, yes, that's me. And then we'll continue reading. So sometimes that headline can drop down right before my opening statement. Other times, I'm going to use it everywhere else in my listing language. It will be at the top of my flyers. It'll be the subject in my emails. It will be mentioned and used again in my hashtag. So we're going to use that headline in multiple ways. But the main thing that we want it to do is to trigger a reaction, a quick, yes, this is for me, so that we can really get their attention. So let's look at a few tips on this. One, I love for the headlines to be happy and to be human. I love questions for headlines. And I always say write it last. Now, some other tips on this are going to, what's my focus for my headline? How do I know, what am I really focusing on? Parameters help us. So we know it's always condition, location, and price when we're talking real estate, right? Condition, location, and price. So it should be a headline that is about one of those three things. And now within that, it is either a benefit of condition, location, and price that I can lead with, like downtown with private parking, right? Big benefit that solves a problem for my buyer downtown. Or if it's new, if it's just new, it is newsworthy. So that can often be a part of my headline. If there's something new, it's a new development, it's a new, now available, first time ever, or a new loft in emerging art district, like this is going on. Or novel. Now the novel style headlines, I don't use as much, but man, sometimes they are just the thing. It's going to be the thing that piques my curiosity or is funny. So curiosity, hard work does pay. I'm wondering how much work, how much pay, right? You got my attention. I'm a fixer-upper. What are we talking about? And the other is the humor. Now, this is a true title that an Austin agent used. And we had a good laugh about it because he took my class and then he used this only $200K and the termites come for free. He got more calls on this listing than any other listing to date. It was a teardown. But he was clever, he used some humor, he got people's attention, and he knew that there were people out there that wanted exactly what he was selling, a teardown, right? So we know that humor and sex catch their attention, so let's use one or the other. Either it needs to be sexy or it needs to be funny, right, to be really effective. So let's look at some short and sweet examples. Irony is great. A really big, tiny house. Eureka, your mountain retreat. Suburban splendor. Tailored in Tarrytown, a sweetheart starter home downtown with all the perks. Now, if I'm a VIP, I'm going, oh yeah, what kind of perks? Right? There's the question, love the beach. Self-reliant, cabin calling. Wonderful in Wimberley, renovated for retirement. Just, we're trying to really find that audience member and come in. I love them short and sweet. Those are ones I could drop down right before my opening statement. Let's talk about this opening statement. It's going to include the style of architecture. So if you still feel like you're struggling on that one, you need to get in class. Okay, and I'm doing a lot on the Facebook group working on architecture with you guys because it's, well, I mean, it's what you're selling, right? We all know a salesman can better sell their product the more they know about it. So if that language of architecture needs some work, let's come work on it. So statements that would be helpful for an opening statement are phrases about your architecture, the style. And remember, you can address your style by talking about the current build, the style of architecture itself, if it is like a farmhouse or it is a craftsman or any of these other things. Or 3, sometimes we can reference the era that we're pulling back into this architecture too, like the modern era, different things like that. So for example, it's an updated Spanish eclectic townhome. It's a contemporary Mediterranean McMansion. It's a modern craftsman bungalow. It's a new construction Dutch modern farmhouse. It's an immaculately updated neo-Tudor cottage. It's a newly renovated split-level beach home. It's reminiscent of provincial French and American craftsmen. Right? This is our job, to get in front of this and be able to speak about this architecture. And I'll tell you what, guys, there's a couple little notes in this that I want you to pick up on. Anytime I use the word neo in front of a style of architecture, it means it is the more contemporary version that has elements of that, but it's not a revival. It's not a true to form revival. So we use neo in front of a lot of things. Neo-Tudor, Neo-Spanish, Neo-Mediterranean. It is a way of saying we are in the neo-eclectic era of architecture right now, where we are blending, meshing together a ton of materials and several different styles often into one home. So when I say it's a Neo-Tudor, that's what I'm referencing. And there's a lot of room for grace under that Tudor when you say that. I can also put the word eclectic after. A lot of developments do that. They'll say you can build in one of 3 styles. It can be a Tudor eclectic, a Spanish eclectic, it can be a Dutch eclectic, it can be one of these different eclectics, and that is the same thing where they say, we know it's not a true to form revival, like this Tudor doesn't maybe have half timbering and diamond-shaped little windows in the front-facing gables, but it does have high-pitched, steeped front-facing gables with windows in them, and that is very Tudor-esque. So it is reminiscent of this style, or it's a neo, or I'll put eclectic after it. Okay, so just to help you out, I know that this is tough right now with all the different styles meshing together, but it's an exciting time to be talking about real estate, talking about architecture. Okay, so this goes into our opening statement, this kind of language, and if you're not sure, this is the resource that you can also use. It's like shopping for architecture on a Chinese food menu, because it's all by pictures. And you just look at the picture and go, you know what? I've got a lot of those elements of a mansard, but yet it also feels very, Spanish at the same time. It probably is. We're mixing them. So come in here, shop around, look and see. You'll actually also get some verbiage, some really nice descriptions around these different styles when you do. So this is a link that's also on that resources page for this class that's shared there in the chat. Okay, I love this Realtor Mag resource. Let's look at a few examples of opening statements. Step into this gorgeous hill country Tudor craftsman nestled in a beautiful neighborhood near Wimberley Schools in the town center. Okay, another one. Be the first to live in this contemporary 2-story French colonial home near Parkside Elementary in Spring, Texas. Another. Tour this stunning modern prairie style home in the heart of Dripping Springs. So it can be lengthy, verbose, or it can be short and to the point, right? Tour this stunning modern prairie style home in the heart of Dripping Springs. What do y'all notice? There's something, someone be the first to mention it in the chat. I'm going to open it up. What is something that you notice that all of these have in common? Notice, tour this stunning modern prairie. Be the first to live in this contemporary 2-story. Step into this gorgeous hill country Tudor craftsman. I'm looking at the chat. Thank you. We got action verbs, calls to action immediately. Y'all nailed it. This is the art of real estate language has got to be, we are trying to animate something. We are trying to create a story. So we are going to help that story along by using action words. In medias res, jump into the action. Okay, and we do it by using action words. It literally triggers them, their imagination. They start thinking about being the first. Are we going to be the first? I am going to step into this gorgeous hill country Tudor craftsman. You know, it's immediately, real estate language is active language. The more active we can be, the more alive it feels, the more present time it feels. So when you create your opening statement, that's the next thing is I always want you to go, okay, now how do I add in imagine, right? There's all sorts of words that we can use that are action words. Contemporary, true story, French colonial, prairie style, we've got it. So those are my opening statements, the style of architecture and the setting that it's in, using action in the very beginning. Now, let's get into the meat of it. Let's get into the real action and adventure of the story, and that is going to be my narrative description of my features, right? My gorgeous contemporary subway backsplash, all of these beautiful features as much as we can without sacrificing impact, right? Without sacrificing the narrative. So something to keep in mind when we are talking about features, that the features, I see a lot of just standard features mentioned, but sometimes those features need to be relative to, they vary depending on the neighborhood and your buyer, right? So what's a feature in one neighborhood, like a walk-in closet, is not a feature in a new construction neighborhood. I expect ample storage, but say I'm selling a home that has a lot of character. It's an older style home. If it also has the modern conveniences of ample storage, now we are talking big feature. Not only do you get the character of this traditional old neighborhood and this style of architecture, but it's been updated to now include this walk-in storage. It's always dependent. So I want us, again, thinking about our buyer when we're thinking about our features, okay, and the neighborhood that it's in. So, guys, the action is really what we're doing, connecting lifestyle benefits to the features of the home in the neighborhood. That's what makes it so active, is that it's, yes, here's the feature, but what's my ABCs? Where's the benefit of that feature? Start the story. So it is less, but we need to make sure that it's less about the people in the lifestyle narrative and more about the property or the feature itself. So that's a matter of putting the emphasis on the feature or the property doing it, okay? So that, again, we stay compliant with our Fair Housing Act. The more I start talking, putting the emphasis on the people, the more I start getting into some otherwise dangerous territory, right? I'm talking too much about the people, and I could be discriminating against other people. So let me give you guys some examples. Let me just mute everybody. We're getting some background, okay? There we go. So the property is in action. The property or feature provides, it accommodates, it lends itself to. Example, the solar heated pool offers year-round family fun and entertainment, right? You can define that family however you want to, right? You can define it however you want to. Maybe it's you and your 3 Yorkies. I don't know what constitutes your little happy home, but I do know that this feature offers. So we start using connective phrases because we've got to put the emphasis. This thing is providing this feature to you. So connective phrases and connective words. And what I want you guys just to start a little cheat sheet. I've got a little worksheet I'm going to show you in a moment, another one that's got that cheat sheet started, and you can just keep playing off of that. But we don't have to do all the work every time, right? It's nice to just go, oh, here's my list of connective phrases that I use all the time, because literally we're going to go, our features, numbers 5 through 9 on that sheet, we're talking all about the features, and then I just need connective phrases connecting me. So it leads into, it opens up to, it's expanding throughout, it's seamlessly connecting the, overlooking, backing up to, a few blocks from. All of these are my connective phrases. Otherwise, I wind up with a laundry list of features. The connective phrases are the thing that makes it a narrative. All right, so we need these more than anything. The connective phrases, connecting all of my features. And I will circle back to connective phrases and structuring in a moment when we get more into video. But while we're talking features, I do want to mention the top 6 keywords. Right, so we know move-in ready. This is why we tell our home sellers that try and say that, let's just sell it as is and let somebody else make it their own. Let somebody else, today's buyer wants move-in ready. So that's why we work extra hard, right, on the front end to give the buyer what they want. They're into energy efficient. Wait a second, I missed one. Thank you. Open floor plan. It is their #1 requirement, is the open floor plan. So we know if I've got a kitchen, family, and dining all connected, usually that's also connected to the entry, but it doesn't have to be. If the entry, family, and dining, if that's all open and connected, I've got the #1 requirement. So let's be sure and mention it as a feature. So move-in ready, natural light, right? It is in their keywords, and we are now going to use it. We're not going to say natural light throughout the home. We're going to use it to talk about a feature of architecture, how it moves through, or it shines, or illuminates, it highlights something. They also want custom. They just want to know that it's not cookie cutter. There's something unique. So if you do have something custom, let's drop it in your language. And then the eat-in kitchen island is still in the top 6. So if you've got this, where it's at counter height, the large eat-in kitchen island is a keyword they are listening and looking for, and search engine optimization is searching for as well, right? Did you know that Google will favor your listing if you have proper grammar? Yeah, if you don't have misspellings and proper grammar, like you're not using all caps or multiple exclamation points, it will actually favor your listing because Google likes to put out good content. Okay, so keywords and good grammar. I love that. I love that mix right there. Oh, whoa. Did I get it? Okay. And then I want to make sure that your photos are aligning and validating your description. So by that I mean, in the same way we're going to map out our video tour, I'm aligning those photos with my language. And I'll tell you what, guys, being an interior designer for as long as I have, I'll tell you, I've been working on portfolio always. And when those photos come in for a listing, it is all about, I want to show you my best stuff first, right? In the same way that I'm highlighting it in my language. I want to highlight, I don't want to see 5 pictures of the outside before I get to the inside. You may not have the opportunity to show them the inside because people's attention spans are small. We got to ride with the best stuff we got, right? Pamela, I love your smile. You're going, right? So I want to show me that money shot first. And if it is the establishing shot from outside, great. Maybe you've got that twilight, dreamy, perfect shot. You love the architecture. It's strong. Maybe that's what you lead with, and you do so with your language also. Otherwise, maybe you start with that big open floor plan, that dream shot of the kitchen and the eat-in kitchen island, like I just showed you. The shot that I lead with is the shot that has the most emotion. I look at it and go, which one gets me most excited? That's my money shot. That's the first one. And then that's also probably where I'm going to start in my language. I'm going to set the style and the architecture up, right? This opening statement, and then I'm going to start in that kitchen if that's going to be my next shot. So I want to see all of your best stuff first. So for me, the rooms that sell, can we talk about that real quickly? The rooms that sell, we spend our time and money on the things that sell, right? So we remove objections, and then we spend time and money on the features and the focal points. So for me, I know that's going to be that open floor plan, that beautiful kitchen, right? In that family room. It's going to be the master bedroom, the master bath, and any outdoor living area. Secondary bedrooms, have they ever sold a home for you? No, they don't. They're just a check mark for me. So even in my staging, I don't spend time or money on things that aren't selling the house. All I want in a secondary bedroom are very clean carpet lines, updated light fixtures, right? Just remove the objections and make it clean. I don't need to spend time or money on the things that don't sell the property. I'm going to spend all that time and money on removing objections in my main areas that do sell, and that's where I'm going to be showing you. I'll get to the secondary bedrooms way after I've shown you all the good stuff. Right? And then I'll go, oh yeah, here's secondary bedrooms, secondary bathrooms, here's those extra outdoor shots, here's the extra extras. But I led with my first like 7, 8, 9, 10 best shots. And that's good. That should mirror my language as well. Okay? All right. It's tough to edit out, but it makes it easier when I know who my buyer is. I know what to edit out. And then if we've got a promotion, so I'm the agent number 2 or 3, right? So when I go to that listing presentation, knowing this has been on the market for a while, I go to that listing presentation with a couple promotions in mind. And this is where you guys are really strong. Y'all know how to negotiate and come up with different things to negotiate and new things to offer. So this is where you work with your peers and go, what would be a good promotion for this one? I'm going to go talk. I want to represent this property and it's been on the market for a while. We need a new reason why people should take a look at us again. Okay, and that's also going to help differentiate you when you stand in front of that new client. Also, when you let them know that there are 2 things that keep a home from selling, and it's price and presentation. So there's no mystery. And you've maybe looked at the price, maybe the price is right, but it's not the presentation, or likewise. But you go in ready to solve the problem, right? So we're going to throw that promotion in if we need it. And then we go to our call to action, which is upbeat, which is plan your showing today. Don't miss out. Be the first to see it, right? Request a virtual tour. Some sort of call to action. Now, if this is in a social media post that I'm using all of this listing language in, then I'm going to my call to action will be a link, right? I'm going to always drop in a link in any social media post. It needs to be something where I can lead generate. Either they're going to sign up for something and then I'm going to give them more information, or they're going to go to the unique property website, or they're going to go to my website. They're going to go to something because it's just like an infomercial. You got my attention. I'm feeling something. I'm excited. Now is the time to get me to go into action. Right? So sometimes, that being said, I will be honest with you guys and say that when I'm slicing and dicing, when I'm editing that listing, sometimes the call to action will be the thing that gets cut because I'm just, right? I've got it all in there. I've got so much good stuff. And because I do believe that if you have done your job and you've done a nice narrative, dropping in the features and connecting it to lifestyle, they should have already. They're feeling that call to action before you say your little thing at the end. But whatever you do, if you do a call to action, let's just keep it upbeat, right? We're going to keep that upbeat. All right, quick little review on this. I know I was kind of keeping that pace fast because I'm excited to get to the video stuff. So quick review on the writing of the descriptions. We are going to have an eye-catching headline. We are going to establish that style of home using elevated language, architectural language, not just a beautiful house, right? We're going to connect it to the community. We're going to narrate with movement, right? Light and connective phrases. No fluff. We're going to be specific. We're going to use name brands. We're going to mention we're going to name drop when we can, when it's appropriate. We're going to highlight those features and those name brands. We're going to use keywords. My photos are going to align and validate. And also something on that is I love a big room shot, but then I love an editorial shot. I want to see that vignette. Like that up close. Editorial shots are those that are lifestyle oriented and it's up close. Those evoke more of a feeling usually, and they can validate. If I'm going on about a gourmet kitchen, then I'm going to get that up close shot with the oil and vinegar beside the stove and the beautiful backsplash that maybe I had to fix. Maybe it had a Tuscan scene, but it's above my feature, so we remedied that. We fixed that. And now I'm going to get that up close shot of that staged moment of that feature, right? It's going to validate. We spend our time and our money and our verbiage on the features that sell, not on the facts that they're going to find out if they're interested later. And then last but not least, proper grammar and spelling. Okay, we have given ourselves just enough time. Let me look at that clock. What does it say? 11:34. Good. I did better. I was trying to speed through so we could spend more time on the video stuff because I know that this is so timely. I've been watching y'all and I'm seeing more video than ever. I think that this shelter in place. Hold on, I'm going to stop because I can just tell y'all are all reading the screen and we're going to get to it. This shelter in place is forcing some of us to finally adopt this amazing technology that you've been hearing for so long. Raise your hand if you have been told you need to be making more video. We all have been hearing it, right? Yeah, thank you, thank you. We need to be making more video. So we know this, and now I think just because, you know, our old ways work, they were working for us, but right now, with some of our buyers still sheltering in place, you know, we want to be as accommodating as possible. My hope for you as a modern realtor, as a modern agent, I want you to have the comfort of knowing that if this you know, pandemic is something that has an ebb and a flow to it, and if it does spike up again in the fall, I want you to know that if you're sheltered in place at home, you're good. You know how to market these homes, you know how to do video tours, you know how to do online virtual listing presentations, you're good. If we can go back to business as usual, great, you're good then too. And now you're actually even better, right? What this video, learning to adopt some of this technology and how, is forcing us to also really clean up our online persona, because we are doing more business online. And it's only going to continue to go that way. I'm starting to study Gen Z. I know we've been talking millennials for a while, but now I'm starting to look at Gen Z, and I'm going, these guys want to do a lot of business online, right? They know it's more efficient, they know it's possible, and they want a modern agent who can meet them there. So we are needing to adopt these things, and I'm almost glad that this is making some of us become more willing to do this thing that is going to expand your brand, right? It's almost ironic. I've been one of those on the more conservative end of the shelter in place. You know, we've been home. And meanwhile, my training has never gone out further. And I think the same is true for you guys. If we harness this tool of video and we do it well, this is going to expand your reach greatly. All right, so let's talk about how do we do this and do it well, right? I've been watching some of y'all. Julie did an awesome video recently. I saw her, DeSilva's. She did a great video walking you through the house. Yeah, Julie.
That was so scary.
Was it?
My team lead, oh my gosh, my team lead made me. She was like, okay, what day are we doing it? And I'm like, and I refused to boost it. I didn't tell anyone.
I saw it. Yes, girl. I know a lot of other people did. Look at that. I want to commend you, Julie. Did y'all hear that? She was scared to death, but she did it anyways. Growth only happens at the edge of our comfort zone. Otherwise, we're not growing. I am so glad that you are part of a group that has a team leader that's making you do this stuff. Sometimes we have to be made to do it. And you did good. You did great.
Thank you. It was not as bad as I thought, but my sister-in-law said, oh, you looked a little awkward. And I thought, yeah,
didn't. Thanks. That's what sisters do, right? I swear. Thanks for the commentary. I didn't think it was awkward. I thought it felt natural. It felt candid. You know, it felt upbeat, which is what we always want to be. You were smiling while you were talking. That alone is an art. And but you're so friendly. You've got that one already mastered. It was the smile the whole time. You did good, Julie. Yeah. So y'all.
And I will say I took your notes. So yes. I did take your notes, and as I prepared, so I use those.
That makes me so happy. That's all I ever want to hear. I just want to hear that it's helping and it's working. And so, yeah, Russ, what's on your mind? Do you want to say something? Talk to us, Russ. Let me unmute. Hold on. Taking a second. There you go. Talk away.
Actually, I was just clapping for Julie.
Oh.
Yeah, we all have to just get out of our comfort zone. And Abby's things are really great as a good warm-up to get the right phrases.
Good.
And as you saw in my notes there, I just said that our Austin market right now seems to be so hot that we're going under contract before we can even get the footage to put in the MLS, for the videos. But
gosh,
that's a great problem. Love it.
That is a great problem to have. But I'm going to urge you guys to try and get those videos while you can, because one of the reasons we love having it listings is because it's a great opportunity for us to market ourselves as an agent, right? And if I don't have a listing, I borrow a listing, right? I'm going to host a virtual open house, or I'm going to go into a model home, just because people need to see me in front of my product talking about real estate, sharing features, sharing market reports. What do we do as an agent? I'm going to stop sharing this again for just a moment. Guys, as an agent, I'm either coming before my audience to inform them about hyper local, right? You are here to inform them, and your powerhouse is hyper local, because they can get CNN and all the big stuff, the big news. They want to know what's going on in the market in your neck of the woods. So we're informing. We are inviting, as agents, we are always inviting them to participate in one thing or another, inviting them. We are exploring. We're exploring how to do this. Explore this open house with me. Explore this home with me, right? We're exploring things. And then at best, we are inspiring, right? So I'm informing, I'm exploring, I'm inviting, I'm inspiring. And my tone as an agent when I get in front of them is always confident and calm. We're going to come before them almost like a news reporter would, because from that place of calm, I have somewhere to go and I can get excited. Again, don't be that I'm so pumped up from the very beginning to the very end, so that there is no contrast. It is contrast that keeps us interested. So I'm very cool and calm, and I'm working on that smile. I'm always trying to like smile in between. That's something that news anchors work when we talk about TV. I'm smiling. I can tell you the worst thing that ever happened. I can say I woke up this morning and there was no coffee, and then I stubbed my toe, and when I did, I fell over my cat and he died. Yeah. Notice I'm smiling the whole time I tell you an awful story. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. We've got to keep it upbeat, keep it real, but we do keep that smile on, and it is a little bit of a practice, okay? Because that's our job. We are coming to them. I don't care what's happening in the market. Even if there's a downturn, there's an upside to it, and it's our job to inform them. In fact, right now, our job as agents is to get in front of our audience and let them know that business is good. The business is happening. Buyers got to buy, sellers got to sell, and you're suiting up and showing up to make it happen, right? So you can meet their needs in any way. If it needs to be virtual, you can do it. Okay, so look, I don't want to, I've got some information that I do want to share with you. So let me get to some brass tacks here. So when I'm doing this virtual home tour, there is a format. It is still a narrative description of my features. I am emphasizing the lifestyle benefits of the features, and I'm using those connective phrases for momentum. So example, pine wood floors expand throughout the open floor plan, providing a warm, solid surface for you and your furry friends to enjoy. Notice I am connecting so the wood floors is a feature. I'm going to back it up with an adjective. I am looking for features, and then I'm looking for details. So I'm constantly saying to my clients, tell me about this, tell me about that, tell me about this. I'm finding some adjectives that I can use in front of that feature. And then the connective phrases expands throughout I drop in another feature, the open floor plan. Connective phrase, providing and now what's the benefit? Because for me, I know that a solid surface is a benefit to a lot of people in a high trafficked area. They want that solid surface, but I've got a warm solid surface, which is something that people are in particular looking for, right? So I'm going to bring that benefit out, and then I'm going to attach it to something that's such a visual. When I say a warm solid surface for you and your furry friends to enjoy, how many of us saw our furry friend, right? Which elicits in a positive emotion. I see it. I hear the little click, click, click of their nails, their little nails across that wooden floor. Right? Let's look at another example. The custom cedar staircase leads to your cozy quarters overlooking a private yard with lush native landscaping. I'm throwing in custom because I know this was a custom built and they want to hear that word, right? Cedar, another adjective. Staircase leads to your is my connective phrase. Cozy quarters overlooking there's another connective phrase. See how I get this momentum? I can go from downstairs to upstairs to outside in one sentence if I'm using a connective phrases appropriately. Enjoy large windows that illuminate a state-of-the-art kitchen and cozy family room. That's from that one earlier. Notice those large windows. It's a big feature. And now I'm talking about that sunlight, and I'm using connective phrases to get to a benefit. So some of those connective phrases there on the left, again, offers, lends, provides, moves throughout, backing up to, facing, under, all of those are essential. Essential. So let's look at my second worksheet. This is also docked in the files of the private Facebook group if you need it. This is on this. Notice you've got a section where you need to fill in the style of the home and any adjectives that you can help get that phrase for the vibe, the setting of the neighborhood. How do I best describe this neighborhood? The feeling of it. This is going to help you with your connective phrase. Your opening statement. Connective phrases are right there, just a handful of them, about a dozen or so. Get your head thinking about those connective phrases, and this is how we script it. Okay, so I've got a video, and whether I am going live with my selfie stick, right? I'm either going to be going live and walking through, talking, or I've got it on a gimbal. If my hand's any shaky at all, get the gimbal. It's less than $100, and it'll give you those smooth, sweeping motions as you walk. Okay, I love that gimbal. This selfie stick is my friend, though. So either I'm doing it live, or I'm going to have pre-recorded. I've done a walkthrough, and now I'm coming over with my voiceover. Or I'm so sheltered in place that I'm just going to use the images, the photos, take it into iMovie, and do those sweeping motions. Y'all, every Friday I do a review in my Facebook group. I go live, and this week we'll be doing more unpacking of our writing, since that's what we're teaching this week. Last week we were doing an iMovie demo on how to edit your stuff, right? So I know that sometimes we have to keep on developing. So those are Fridays at 1 in the group. So you might go into iMovie and create the sweeping motion and do your little clips and drop in your text and then do your audio, over it. Either way, I'm going image by, when I say image, it's what is the shot? So I'm going to be in front of the home, entry 1, and then I go inside, and I'm going to go, dining 1, dining 2. So where am I going to be mapping out my tour? What are they going to see? And in each image, each shot, I'm going to throw in that feature or two that I want to highlight. Notice I've got a space to back it up with some adjectives to really make it rich and come to life. And then I need a connective word. Well, how am I going to connect it to the benefit? So I've got wood floors. They're pine wood floors, moving throughout the, what's that benefit? The beautiful open floor, or moving throughout so that you can enjoy a warm, solid surface. Oftentimes, I'm going to go feature, connect, another feature, connect to benefit. So, but it just is this continual motion of you going, okay, in this shot, I'm going to talk about this feature. I'm going to back it up with some adjectives. How do I connect it to a benefit? Everything ABCs, always benefit centered. So I'm not going to show you this state-of-the-art kitchen without mentioning what incredible meals you can cook, what a great entertainer you can be, whatever it is that's going to make me connect to. Because I just kind of help them get that story going. I'm trying to prompt that reel, right? So what is important? I don't want this part scripted. So my next step is to take it actually to the cards. I go to cards, because remember, what did I say? Writing is editing. So you've got this sheet, which is great, because again, it's forced you printed it off. So I'm going pencil to paper, and oh my gosh, I'm getting all these phrases. Okay, I'm going to go to this room, and then next I'm going to go to that room. Okay, I'm with you. And now I'm going to come back and really just reduce it down to the one feature, the benefit and connective phrases of that shot, because I may very likely be going in real time. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, whoever you're watching on the nightly news or on the morning shows, they're not doing that without their cards. I've been on morning shows 100 times, not 100 times, probably about 20 times, and I'll tell you what, they're always using either big cards in front of them or a teleprompter, right? So give yourself at least that benefit. It very likely, if you're going live, you're also having to accommodate an audience, and you're recognizing the audience, and you can get lost sometimes. Like, where was I? What was I talking about? And you can forget an important feature. You can forget to connect it to the benefit. So I want you to have the benefit of having your script ready to go. So what I'm doing is I'm walking and talking and I'm dropping that card onto the next one, dropping that card onto the next one, dropping that card, right? So I can keep this here. I can keep it out in front of me if I need to. I can like this, right? So I just find it's really handy. And what it also does is it is a way of structuring my editing process, because I go from that sheet and I'm like, oh my God, I've gotten so much out on the sheet. Okay. All right, card 1, that's right. I'm in the entry, I'm looking at this, and I'm gonna reduce it, and I'm gonna say it best, most concisely, because really, I want these to be bullet points. I want the tour to feel authentic. So I need it to not be too scripted. Otherwise, you are going to sound scripted, and social media is more relaxed than that. So if we intend to post this on YouTube so that you can have an easy link to share with buyers agents, I definitely recommend that. Everything you do, especially Russ brought up a good point. Houses are selling faster than we even have time to take advantage of all the marketing opportunities. Get that video made, share it on social media, but dock it always on YouTube so you have a growing YouTube channel. I don't care if it sells the next day. You want that. The listing is an marketing opportunity, and I want to see that this time next year. Oh, look, you've got a dozen walkthrough to home tour videos. And look at how great you are in front of the camera. Guys, it's just practice makes perfection. Right? Practice to get there. And I'm not even interested in perfection. Your audience isn't interested in perfection. I get more likes and comments on the videos where I have no makeup and I'm just saying, hey, and I'm coming to your reel. They like real and they like things that are helpful. As long as you're helpful, they're going to love you. And if you fall over on an ottoman, don't stop rolling. That's going to be your best views of the day. Keep on rolling. Just keep it real and just kind of get your composure and say, whoa, you know, what was that? This house it sure was a soft fall on this plush rug and this da-da-da. Work with it. We want it to be real. So don't over script. Just have your nuggets. This feature, what's that connective phrase I want to use to get to the benefit? Okay, and then moving on. But what I do want scripted, I'm going to give you, okay, so here we are, and then I'm going to give you some notes on what I want scripted next. You're going to fill out the worksheet. You're going to make your cards. You're going to rehearse your opener and closer, and that's what we're going to end on today after this slide. We're going to talk about how do you open and how do you close on a high note, okay? That I do want scripted because I want you to nail it. And it's okay if it sounds scripted. It's like the sign-off. You know, like Tom Brokaw, that's the way it is. You know, that's your sign-off. I'm Abby Vossick reminding you to never settle. The thing about a closer is it's like a life raft. If I know my closer and I've got it down, I've got it rehearsed, I can have totally lost my point. Oftentimes, it's when we are trying to wrap up that we begin to not serve our audience as well, because we start digressing into the wrap up, which sometimes can be lengthy. If you want to build trust with your audience, they want to know that they can get in, you provide the proper hook, you satisfy the hook, and then you're out. And that closer that is rehearsed is like a life raft. I can be a little lost and I'm like, what does I say? Get back to your closer, just pull it back in. So I've got a slide on both of those. So I'm going to rehearse my opener and closer. And then when it's time, number 4, I'm going to go into my video capture. I'm going to go live on Facebook or YouTube, and I'm going to have my cards. Otherwise, I'm going to record my walkthrough, or I'm going to organize my pictures, and now I'm going to still use my cards to do my voiceover. I want to keep it natural. I want to keep it fun, hit my high points, right? I'm going to go in and edit and do that. Let's look real quickly at the performance aspect. We unpack a lot of this. We spend a lot of time on this in the Making Video class, so we can circle back and really work on video more. But this is such a part of the scripting that I'm so glad we're including a little bit of this. So lasting impressions are your first and your last. People always remember the way you came and the way you left. Am I right? We got some chat action. What's going on in chat? Make sure we're doing okay. Do you have an example? I do. I've got a great example of the virtual tour. One that I did from a sheltered in place standpoint. So I'm not doing the walkthrough. I'm taking existing photos and I'm creating the sweeping effects on it and dropping in the stuff. It's all in the Facebook group. All right. So hop over there to Elevate Your Real Estate, and you can see a great example of what we're talking about here. So my opener should always include, I start with a hook, right? That connects me to the topic of the video. And then I go into who I am. I break after saying that hook and say who I am. I'm Abby Vosek, your Make Ready Realtor, or whatever yours might be. Your friendly local neighborhood realtor. I've got a list of about 50 of them. I posted them up in the group, just like all the different options, just to kind of help you guys get your brain spinning. This is fun to figure out, like, what is the part that I'm best at and I love the most, and how can I say that in a little, more catchy way, right? Just like your properties need a headline, you need one. So who I am, any credentials or a nickname that I've got, and then I go right into how I'm going to satisfy this topic for them today, and then I'm going to do a call to action. My closer, I'm going to review how I satisfied the topic. Like, I hope that you enjoyed this tour today. This was so much fun with you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We go into gratitude. It resonates high. We thank them, and then I remind them about the call to action that I've included. I always have a link to learn more. Maybe it's click here to receive your local market review, or your top. Y'all, you don't have to do all the work. Independence Title has pre-made the most incredible infographics and flyers that you could share one literally every day with your audience and never run out. So if you're short for what to share, what's my call to action, talk to your rep. They've got 15 of them waiting for you. Something valuable, an item of value that you can share, right? And then I close off with my nickname and my motto. Let me give you guys a couple examples. Opener example. Were you looking forward to house hunting this spring, but feeling stifled with a shelter-in-place ordinance? Hi, I'm Abby Vosek, your Wimberley Make Ready Realtor, and it's a good day to be joining me. I'm hosting virtual tours of some of the hottest homes in the Texas Hill Country. You can join me now in exploring this darling farmhouse near the golf course in the heart of Wood Creek. And before you go, follow the link below to get your copy of the Hill Country Market Report. Now, let's take a tour. And then it's always, I start motion on that last bit. I want my action and my voice to really begin. And the same is true even if I'm using just pictures. I'm going to have my opening. I like to go into Canva. If y'all need any help with graphics, your reps can get you doing a one-on-one with Canva, can't you guys? And you need to get that opening plate. It's that beautiful establishing shot. You're down in the corner, a little mention about the property headline. That's always my first image on my videos. And I'm kind of doing the opening, and then I start the tour with them. Okay, the same would be true if I was there live in front of the house. I'd be standing there to do the opening in the place that's the money shot, either in front or in maybe that family room, kitchen, something big. Okay, now let's look at a closer. Thanks for joining me on this beautiful home tour today. You guys made it so much more fun, and I know I've got a few of you to follow up with, but be sure to like my page to get notifications for more virtual home tours, and follow the link in the descriptions to receive your free market report. Remember, if there's a home in the Hill Country that I can tour for you, leave a message in the comments below, or you can always reach me at abby@makereadyrealtor.com. And remember, make it a good day. So that's my goodbye motto that goes with that realtor tagline. If I said something else, if I said I am Diana Diaz, downtown with all the perks, my takeaway would be something else. If I was the dedicated home hunter, house hunter, I would say something like, yeah, hashtag never settle, or reminding you to never settle. So notice how those tie in together. This is part of your homework, guys. I want you to evaluate what it is you love about this business. That's why that's always my first question to join the realtor group. What do you love the most about this business? Because there's many different niches of this business, and there's some part about it that you really excel at. That is usually an indicator as to that realtor tagline or nickname, which then informs my closing statement, which is truly your life raft. You're going to be doing your video and you're talking, and it's like, all right, now I want to wrap up, and you're still kind of blah, blah, blah. Instead, you just go, thank you. I hope that you guys love this tour. Thank you so much. Remember to get the thing, remember the call to action, and then remember me, right? That's how we do it. All right, you guys, I know that y'all are going to, I hope you've got some resources today that help. I hope that you've got a better idea of what that listing description is for and how it can play out in the rest of your listing language. If you need to find me, I'm abbyvosick.com. I'll be processing. I'm your independent provider of education. If you said yes on credit, then I will be reconciling who participated with who said yes, and I'll be getting those out. It takes me a while when we've got a large class size like this. So if you don't see something within 24 hours, then reach out to me, abbyvosick@gmail.com. All right, let me know. If you have changed your mind and you want credit and you didn't say yes, shoot me an email. But don't create redundancies for me, please. If you already said yes, I got it. It's if you hadn't said yes and you want to change your mind, then shoot me an email or say it here in the chat. I'll be saving the chats so that I can review any questions. I open up every Friday's review, answering questions that were dropped in the chat that we didn't actually get to answer in class, because sometimes there are some good ones in there. I'll start by answering those questions and then I'll go into a demo. This week we're going to be working on the writing, and so I want to be working I'm going to actually bring up a listing for you guys, and we're going to work through the worksheet, and we're going to write a listing description using my method, and hopefully kind of learn how to integrate that a little bit more by practicing it. All right. So you can also join the Facebook group right here. I'll tell you what though, the only people that are in this group are dedicated agents. I'm not letting all these other people are trying to get in, like people who try and sell you stuff. And I want this to be a pure environment for development. It's just a way that we can continue to stay in touch and develop. The only people that are in there are your independence title reps, because they are, we're like this. We just kind of, they're the part of the holistic experience. They're the ones that when I say to do something technical, like a Canva graphic or something else, I want y'all to work on this, go to them, right? They're going to help you with that too. But we can do a lot. They're in the Facebook group too. So I'll be doing a review at 1 on Friday. That's tomorrow. I'd love to see any of you guys. Hop in that group if you want to continue to elevate your real estate. Otherwise, I just hope that this helped you today. I hope that you feel less stress when you sit down. And just remember again, you don't have to say it all. Just those things that are really going to evoke a feeling from your ideal audience. All right? That's what it's about. You guys have been wonderful. Rose, is there anything, I don't know, are you there? Would you like to say anything? I know I got Chatty Cathy, Miss Susan. Susan, why don't you take us out? Would you like to say a little something?
Hey, great classes always, Abby. You know, this is one of my absolute favorite classes, and I love the information and how everyone should walk away from this with a completely new mindset of how to write a listing description. It's phenomenal. Love it. Miss seeing you in person.
Likewise.
One day soon, hopefully. Thanks everybody for coming.
Thanks everybody. Y'all have a great day. Go elevate your real estate. Holler if I can help with anything, okay? Love y'all. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Stop.
Thanks, Abby. Bye.
Yay. Great to see y'all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I'll unmute you there for a second. Yeah. This has been wonderful. Love seeing all your, hey Courtney, great to see you. Wow, there's another one of our reps. Yes, you were there. I love you. Good to see you, Kay.
Bye.
Bye.
Both sexes.
All right.